Hello again, this is Jason Bach, another episode of Free Code Friday. We are in episode number 15. Always got to do the file check. Yes, it is 15. All right, so I have not done one in a little while. I've been at MVP Summit last week, and I'm actually heading off tomorrow to VS Live in Las Vegas to do some talks. And unfortunately, I caught a cold, and my family had brewing as I was about to leave from Seattle, Redmond area. When I got back home, I caught it, but I'm much happier catching a cold than I am the flu. My roommate at MVP Summit, Rocky, he got the stomach bug, and I was fortunate not to get it, but he had something, and he was out for like 2 or 3 days. And rooming with somebody when they got the bug like that, not a pleasant thing. So fortunately, he's better too, so that's a good thing. So anyway, I wanted to do an episode. Maybe it'll be quick, but maybe not. I say that sometimes. It's the old adage. If somebody says, "Hey, do you got," somebody sends me a chat message or whatever and says, "Hey, you got time for a question?" It'll be really quick, and it's like 2 hours later you're still talking to the person. That's not quick. But what I did want to do is talk a little bit about some of the other styles that I have and what I built in, and just kind of talk about what they do, and then talk a little bit about where I want to go with this, and do some more work with it. So let's see. So if I got this running, and that should just do the thing it's been doing before, which is looking at a solution file and picking out the styles that it can, and coming up with a little bit bigger list. Not too big, but we're getting a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go through a couple of them. And one thing that's interesting, this is kind of a funny thing about the summit, is I was getting something to work with this buildalyzer tool, and then I updated to 15.6, and I was swearing to myself, 15.6.1, do I update before a conference where I have to do 3 presentations this week, or do I? No, I'm not. It's tempting. That's tempting, because it's like, I'm newer, I'm shinier, I'm better, and if you don't update to me, then I'm going to break something on stage. That's what's going to happen. But nope. I have tested my stuff. It seems to work. I don't want to jinx it. But I said, update to 15.6. So I'm like, okay, cool. Go off and do that. And then I go back into this code, add something new, and run it, and won't parse the CS proj file. I was like, what the hell? So it was cool, though, because the guy that wrote the package, Dave Glick, I think his name is, he was an MVP as well. So found him, talked to him. In fact, I think he was, I don't know where he was, but I'm like, hey, I sent him a message on Twitter. Your stuff doesn't work anymore in 15.6. And sure enough, it just with how MS Build gets installed and a lot of details that I'm completely oblivious to, didn't work, but he was able to put a fix in on Thursday, and so when I got to the airport on Thursday, I connected, got the latest, and everything's back to normal again. So cool on that. All right, so I want to just go through a couple of them that I've done in recent history, and this is one that's sorting system directives first. So if you look at my styling here, essentially what I do is, and I can't fail. I just realized I have this using style here, but it's using a static. By the way, I've got to find a way to get the C# people, when you add an extension, like, I know where this is coming from. So if I take this off, okay, and I come back up here and take that off, now I was going to say, well, get description again. I did too much. There we go. What I want this to do is provide two options. One that just gets the using with the namespace. The other one gets the static that I just did. And the reason why is because, let's get back to normal. The reason why is because in some cases I really like this. This is saying for static extension methods, this is what I like. I don't like using static for like math because I like to qualify my members with a class name or this. But in the case of extension methods, there is no qualification. You're just dotting off of an instance and there you go. So to me, this actually makes it a little bit more specific and it makes it a little bit more direct as to which one I'm calling. So if I'm doing an extension method and you're providing a using, also provide the using static option and let me decide which one to pick. Anyway, I think I might have put that in a while ago and it must have just got lost in the whatever. I'm not sure. I have to remind myself to look at that. But anyway, so this is looking at your, sorry if I'm coughing, cold. I drank all my Gatorade. Oh, there's a little one there. I could just go upstairs and get my water, but I'm too lazy. Anyway, focus. So you can see here that what I do is I don't put system directives first. I put them up at the top. I mean, I don't put them at the top. I put them just with any other using statement. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Some people like to have the system directives first. And so that's what this style is saying is, what do you want to do? Now, I had to think about this a little bit and go, well, how am I actually going to attack this? What am I going to try to find? And what I got to is a fairly long method that looks a little gnarly, probably a good candidate for refactoring. But what I said first is I want to find and I'm saying syntax note here. Actually, this is good that I'm talking. I'm doing the talk to the bear thing. I don't know if you've ever heard that technique, but if you ever get stuck on something, sometimes the best thing to do is talk to yourself. Talk to a stuffed animal and talk to it as though you're talking to another human being saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm stuck. And just the act of describing the problem sometimes will lend itself to finding a solution. And actually here, I don't want to just say syntax note. I probably want to say compilation. I'm going to do that right now because I think that's the right thing to do. Not just any syntax note. I want a compilation unit syntax. And then we'll do that here. Okay. All right. That might break some tests, but I'll fix those later. So I go through and I find all the using directives. Okay. Now, if I find at least one, or I should be more than one, because if I only find one, then I don't know if you're sorting or not by that, so I have no idea. Then I go through the list and I say, well, if you ever find one that doesn't start with the system, then you found a break. And what I mean by that is you could have 3 using statements that don't start with system, 3 using breaks that 3 using directives that do have start with system, and then 3 that don't. And so that would mean that you don't want to sort. And I'm trying to think, did I actually do this right? Because I got a bunch of tests around this. And I'm finding all the using directives, and I'm saying I don't have a break. So if the first one, okay, that's right. Because if the first one is not a system, then I say, hey, I found, basically the found break is a break where you don't have a system. Probably a bad name, but I'm saying that's where you don't have a system directive. And if you just keep not having those, then you never get to the point where you do the else if. If you suddenly find a system and you originally found one before it that wasn't a system, then I say, nope, you don't like to do that. You don't like to have system first. Okay, then what I do is I then say, well, grab all of the nodes, and I'm assuming they're in order that you would find them in the file. Grab the ones that do start with system. And as a side note, I'm doing a toString here. Technically, I probably should be doing get text, and then that's a source text, and then text changes, length to string with changes, right. I mean, that, there's probably a good reason why I should do that, but and why I shouldn't use toString. What was the other one? There was a toFull, wasn't it? Yeah, toFull string. Full string representation. No, I don't want that. I just want toString for now. Again, this may not be the right thing, but it works. Anyway, so I find all the ones that do source system, and then I say, well, do you actually sort them? Because if you don't sort them, then does that really count? And I said no. So I do this little check and say, if the one before it is greater than the one after it, then I actually return false. And that might not be the right thing, but it says sort system directives first. So if you just had 3 system usings and you didn't sort them, then you don't care about sorting them. So I said false. Okay. Only if you have the system directives at the top and they're sorted do I say true. Yeah. Also, if there's one, I say, okay, fine. You sorted it, and so I say true there. Again, some of these are just kind of arbitrary. Like, what do I do in this case? Do I say you do this style or not this style? And just by me talking about this, sometimes I'm second guessing myself. Okay, so that does the sort directives. And then there was another one. If I go look back at my commits. Well, there's got to be another one here. I did a lot with expression body members. Actually, that might be another good thing to show. Let's see if I can. Was it in here? I've been finding out that doing this, I got to be really careful as to when I'm getting. Oh, that's the other one. I don't know. I just remember the other one. But since we're here, the other things I've been finding out is you got to be really careful about when you're doing descendant nodes, descendant trivia, where you're looking at and what you're looking at, because it's been kind of a interesting process as I do this. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a case I didn't think of, and I really shouldn't have traversed the tree that way. But where was that one with inline variable declaration? Okay, so what this one does is it says, do I actually have the documentation up? Because it would just be easier if I showed that. Yeah. Okay, so this style here is kind of the newish style. I think that came in C#7, because it says it right there. You can do out int, okay, and then that's fine. The old styles, you had to declare the variable first and then do it there, so it just kind of saves you one line of code. It does the same thing, but do you want to do it one way or the other? Yeah. So to do that, what I did is, again, this seems simple. There's a case that I don't know if I thought about, which is, I'm going to do it right now. Whoops. Because you can actually do an out argument, and I'm just going to qualify the whole thing because I don't want it to clutter up. But if I look at that in the visualizer, that's my argument. And so I don't know what this would do, because there's an attribute on it as well. So if I go look, oh, I'm already here in the code. I'm at an argument syntax node. That's a little surprising. Parameter list. Parameter. Did I do this right? I don't have any tests for this. What the? I am a bad, bad person. I'm a very bad person. Because that's this. This is what I was tripping on. Is because oh no not it. Oh okay, that pretty much explains it. Okay, I'm good. What did it? Where did my brain just go? These are parameters. Okay, they're these like this. That is an argument to the method. All this stuff in here. That's an argument. Okay, there's a difference here. And what I'm looking at is an argument, not a parameter. So I was worried about if the parameter has that out attribute on it, would that screw it up? But no, it has nothing to do with that. It's the argument, so I'm good. Okay. Anyway, I first look to see on the argument, does it even have any tokens on it that say it's using the out keyword? Because if it doesn't, I don't care. Yeah. If it does, then it's pretty simple. Then you look to see, do you have any declaration expressions? Because if you do that out int t, you're actually declaring a variable within it. And so you'll see this declaration expression show up within the argument syntax node. Okay. So if it exists, then yes, you prefer that. If it doesn't, you don't. And that's it. Again, some of these become really simple one-liners, and you don't have to spend a lot of time working on it. I'm actually pretty sad, though, because I thought I wrote some tests for this. I really, really did. What in the world am I doing wrong? Well, we're going to fix that. Where do I want to copy code from? Let's do that. And let's grab that. And do that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I already have one. I was just being stupid again. Yes, I do. I was a good person, and I actually wrote tests. They're right here. After I look down at them, there should be... No, wait a minute. Oh, for God's sakes, That's var. That's var. Inline variable declaration. That's the one. Okay. Do this again. That's the one I don't have tests for. Okay. We're going to stop being a moron. I also think this is Boolean data, so I can say place all that. No data. A lot of, and I'm debating eventually going back, cleaning some of these tests up, because I could probably do some of these over the same way. But I have not spent the time refactoring my tests so that they look a little cleaner, and that I'm not repeating my code everywhere. Okay. Adding those, adding with null, updating with null. Here we go. Okay. So here, what I want to do is say something like update with inline declaration. And then I say here, and I don't want to parse a compilation unit. Did I parse an expressed in your statement? I never know. I gotta spend time just getting that in my head, which one is which. If int.parse. It really doesn't matter, because you know, 5. Oops. It did 5. Out int x. What are you barking at here? I still need, yeah, I still need to do that. Okay. Now you're not barking at me. And what I need this to be I was doing this in some of the other ones where I'm saying pull out the thing that I actually need to go, yeah. There we go. This needs to be a argument. As a argument syntax. And now it don't work. What am I being stupid about? Or did it? Was I just not being patient enough? Argument syntax. Yeah, okay. I think I thought it flicked right before I went to a different thing. Okay, so this should be one. It should be that you want to do it. Okay, so inline declaration. Update with no inline declaration. Now, of course, it wouldn't know what X is, but that's okay. We're hoping that this will just work. And as always, when you're playing with the compiler API, sometimes you just don't know if it's going to work. And then we need to do an update where we're doing something that has nothing to do with out. Update with no out argument. So in this case, we're just saying, if I did like, if foo of X. And so in this case, it should say nothing, nada, 0, 0. And then we need to do the classic contains diagnostics. There. And we'll grab that and that. Except I'm going to say, yeah, just because but that's wrong. Because you're missing a brace. Or parentheses. Okay. Run that. See what breaks. We get something. 5. Nice. What? Am I not doing a check for no? Am I being a bad person? If Alright, so that should take care of that one. Okay, well then what are the other ones that are failing? I might just being, yeah, sequence contains no matching elements. So, because why not? Nope, it still don't worky. Contains more than one matching element. Okay, why is that? This is a style that sometimes bites me, that if I don't, I think you can actually debug through, but anyway, let's see what happens when I pull this out. Oh, there is 2. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that. Okay. Duh, there's 2 staring me right in the face. We don't have to be so picky. Right? We can just say if foo out in X. Because we don't care. Who cares what foo is? Right? There we go. Okay. And the same thing here. If we say, let's just do, oh, I was trying to be too fancy. Foo out X. That should work now. Oh, duh, but I didn't do the... Yeah, I need to do parse statement, sorry. Okay, parse statement. Parse statement. Parse statement. And parse statement. Now I think all of them should work. And why doesn't that work? It doesn't think that that's... It doesn't think that that has a diagnostic. Okay. That was interesting. The thing I did with the compilation unit syntax when I changed that type, I must have been doing that everywhere anyway because nothing's barked at me, so. Okay, though I'm just curious, am I style walker? Yeah, I was already doing a compilation unit anyway, so. Alright, cool. But here, it is not. Well, you know what, we're just gonna, you know, let's try that. No, it's still... Oh, sugar, how am I going to do that? The whole thing is a diagnostic problem, but not the argument syntax itself. I bet that's what the problem is. So if I look at statement, oh, it doesn't even contain diagnostics. You son of a... How do I get it to have diagnostics? Let's try this. Nope. This is being way too nice. Stop doing this. Oh, you son of a gun. I think I may have another trick up my sleeve. By the way, I want to get, okay, before I move on, and I don't need the ats here anymore. Maybe if I add an extra parentheses, maybe that will do it. I don't know. But I don't need to be that fancy. Just do that. And since we're here, all right, I wonder if I can do this statement add with diagnostics. Can I just add a diagnostic? Why don't you... I know trees are immutable, but why don't you just let me add a diagnostic? See, if I look at my time here, yeah, I'm already at 30 minutes. And now I'm stuck on something because I can't fix this because I don't know how to make a freaking call with a diagnostic. Bad variable name? Yes! Just try something. Just throw crap against the wall until it sticks, and you're good. So, alright, now I think all these should pass. Cool. And then I will check that in. So we'll go back to my, that one, add test for, what did I just add test for? This. All right, cool. All right, so that's all I'm going to spend time on tonight because I want to save my voice. I'm going to continue working on different editor config settings and finding them. But I also want to work on finding a way to say, hey, here's a bunch of GitHub repositories. Go clone them and put them into these directories, and then just blast editor config general against all of them. The first reason to do that is to find bugs or find cases that I haven't thought of that makes my code actually blow up. Okay, and then the second one is to say, for the ones that I do find, if they have editor configs, do they match? And then the third one would be is if they don't have an editor config, just kind of look at their code and try to get a feel for, did I match it or not? You know, but that's the thing I want to do next time is find a library, because I thought, well, yeah, you can just shell out to a process and say run git clone and do it all from like a command line shell in a C# application. But I was like, that feels a little messy. I'm trying to. There's like git sharp and lib git to sharp or something, and a couple of other libraries. So I'm kind of looking around trying to find the nice library that will work. And I don't need it to do much. I just need to say, I'm going to do a git clone, put it down here. Maybe the console way is the right way to do it. I don't know. But no matter what, that's what I want to do next time, is to automate all that and make it so that's really easy to run my code and do like a fairly big stress test against a bunch of GitHub source code bases. So that's what I'll do next time, but that's all the time I'm going to spend on this tonight. So thank you for watching. Hope this has been helpful. Questions or comments, you know where to put them. Hope to see you in my next video next time.